The Northern Cape, blessed with wide open spaces and an abundance of sun and wind. It's no coincidence that it's home to around 70% of South Africa's renewable energy projects. But the province grid capacity is putting a damper on further projects in the province. Eskom says the grid will not allow for big new projects.
Part of that transmission development plan is to focus on the areas of the Northern Cape and the Western Cape because it's got the best wind speeds, and also the Eastern Cape, and that's where we don't have grid capacity. So for us to be able to transition and get the benefit of a new generation, it's important that we focus on strengthening and expanding the grid. Northern Cape, Western Cape and Eastern Cape are a priority in that regard.
This week, South Africa was spared higher stages of load shedding despite colder weather. The minister says this is due to an improvement in capacity.
On Friday, the 2nd of June, we reached a significant milestone. We're at about 60% of the energy availability factor, and this is ahead of the 3 units at Kusile coming on stream. So we're buoyant about the prospects of at least reducing the intensity of load shedding and also its frequency, the number of days where we're experiencing load shedding, and the fact that during a winter day you can have a period where there's no load shedding.
On the proposed Car Powership deal, Ramokgopa is adamant that the length of the deal can't prejudice the country.
We are strict in that it has to be that not a period exceeding 5 years. So this is outside the conversation of what has already gone out. So if you are to go out and say emergency power, that's what we mean. It is for that period, defined period, and of course anything that comes cheaper than diesel, anything that comes cheaper than what has been the tariff structure for the earlier bid windows is something that constitutes a basis for us to have a conversation about contracting.
Redstone will produce 100 megawatts of clean energy. The next bid window for renewables is currently underway. Those projects are expected to generate around 1,000 megawatts once completed. Ulrich Hendricks, SABC News, near Postmasburg, Northern Cape.